that I'm not.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure. I mean, of course. So we see in like Psalms 32 and John 10, it talks about how you're supposed to give to those that are less fortunate than yourself, give to the poor, provide to the needy, and you will be rewarded great glory in the kingdom of God. John 10, God literally says, if you're rich, you are going to hell. Like he says, a rich man is just as likely to enter into the kingdom of heaven as it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle. So in other words, like the gospel's entirely predicated on helping those that are more needy than yourself. The entire gospel is entirely predicated on being generous and providing for the needs of others. And would you be able to name like one Republican policy that's ever been passed through Congress that's been designed to help the poor?
When I voted, I focused on the human rights, such as abortion, and I am against it, which is why I voted Trump.
Okay, even about abortion, man. So let's just define our terms. We could define the modern pro-life movement as restricting or impeding upon the will or ability of a woman from accessing abortion, right?
Yes.
Will God ever do that?
He's against murder, and abortion is murder.
Yeah, I know. That's not the question that I'm asking you. I think it's an undeniable fact that God thinks abortion's wrong. I'm asking you if he'd restrict or impede upon the ability or will of a woman from accessing an abortion.
Wait, hold on. You cut out from accessing an abortion. Mm-hmm. I don't think he would. I think
the answer is no. So in other words,
excuse me, Dean. Can I gather
Harris...
myself?
Oh!
Let me gather.
I've been silenced. Okay.
Please don't joke. Okay. Let me wait. Hold on. Let me think.
Dean has been gagged.
Wait, can you repeat what you said? I took...
For sure. I asked you if God would ever want to restrict upon or impede the ability of her will of a woman from accessing an abortion.
I think that he doesn't restrict on anyone's will in anything, so no. But he also
Great. So, in other words, why would you be condemning Kamala Harris and the platform of the left for just wanting to be more godly, right? Because inevitably, the position of the left is all about legal access to abortion and anti-restriction. One moment, anti-restriction of will. There's no claims about if it's moral or immoral, right? I mean, of course, I don't think that abortion is immoral. I don't think that abortion is murder, all right? But it's entirely possible to hold a consistent worldview where you think abortion is wrong, yet you think women should have access. And in fact, I'd say that this was the most likely position of Kamala Harris due to her Christian faith. And seemingly, this is the same beliefs that are held consistent by God. God thinks abortion's wrong, yet God thinks women should have access to it, right? And so Kamala Harris, in all reality, was just being more like God. And then just to add like the cherry on top, the devil would always think adjacent or opposed to God, meaning if God thinks women should have access to abortion, the devil thinks women shouldn't have access to abortion. So in other words, Trump's position is more like the devil's, meanwhile Kamala Harris's position was more like God's.
Well, actually, murder is also completely against God, yet there's no restriction, there's just a law against murder. What are you doing, Dean?
I'm throwing up the W's for me because I just own the opposition.
I thought you were throwing up gang signs and I felt threatened.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's one of the stupidest things that someone has ever said on my live. That is like top 5 dumbest things ever. Like that goes into like the all-time best like stupid moments on my live streams. I have been doing these live streams for like 2 years, 4 to 5 hours a day, and I have never had someone say something that idiotic. And you see the type of people I debate. I mean, that is like an unprecedented Dean moment. I can't even believe that A, you would say that, but like B, that is even like a thought that would come to mind. Like, hello, explain yourself.
What do you mean explain myself?
I was throwing up a W,
Okay.
and then you say, I thought it was a gang sign. I felt threatened. Explain yourself.
I just felt threatened, Dean.
Are you joking? Is this a joke?
This is not a joke. Okay? No, stop. I have been on Parker's Live and someone clipped something I said and put it in a compilation and everyone thinks I am joking. I am being for real, Dean Withers.
There's no way. Brett, thank you for the
I
money gun. No,
am
you're not.
being
This is a troll.
This is not a troll.
Why did it scare you? Even if okay, let's just assume that I was like throwing up a real gang sign. Why would that make you feel threatened?
Because it's a gang, Dean?
No, it's a way to order my hands to create a symbol, and I'm on the internet, and you live far, far, far away, and you are under an anonymous account. Why would you feel threatened?
I saw hand movements. I thought gang sign, and my flight or fight kicked in, Dean. I don't know. I don't know. It's just my feelings. I'm sorry.
I just can't even. Okay. I can't even believe this. Okay. Are you like okay. Let's just go back down to it. Wow. Okay, resetting here, getting back on topic with the debate that we have at hand. You voted for Donald Trump because you're pro-life.
Yes,
You're pro-life because of your religion. I explained to you why that's not in accordance with your religion. In fact, Kamala Harris advocating for women to have an unrestricted ability or will from accessing abortion is going to be more similar to God's position, because God would never infringe upon the ability or will of a woman. Therefore, you shouldn't either.
God wouldn't infringe on the will of anybody, Dean. Yet people are still out there smurdering people.
You got me. You got me. You got me.
Listen, buddy.
So my critique here, it doesn't just apply to abortion. It actually applies to the entirety of the criminal justice system, but that's a whole other thing. And Isabella, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. I appreciate you, Isabella. And Brianna, thank you so much for the $1 on PayPal.
Okay, so what?
Okay, next question. So I'm just going to go ahead and run like a more fleshed out critique. I don't think that you should be using your religious books to dictate legislation. I ultimately think that when we are like considering different pragmatic approaches to society and how we want to manage it with the use of our government, we're going to be basing that off of empiricism. Like, for instance, if we want to test and run economic policy, we're probably going to be taking academics that are really well versed and using their vast knowledge to demonstrate what the potential outcomes could be. We would do this with like Trump's plan for tariffs, Kamala Harris's economic plans as well. And we would test them and make sure that they're smart, make sure that they're intelligent, make sure that they're well functioning. And then we determine if we want them or we don't want them. All right. But like when you just say that you want policy not designed on empiricism, not designed on historicity, not designed on projections, just designed on your faith and a religious text written by a man 4,000 years ago, it really leaves a lot of gray room for bad outcomes. A good example of this would be like slave owners in the 19th century in America. They actually used the Christian Bible, specifically Leviticus 25, to justify legislation to infringe upon the rights of black people in America, which I don't see to be logically distinct from you wanting to use that same text to justify a rights infringement upon women.
Okay, so did you just compare me to a slave owner?
I'm comparing like the thought processes that you're using to build your foundational beliefs to vote and advocate for policy and governmental reform to the same thought processes used for the same purpose by slave owners. Yes.
It's not that I am basing what I think off the Bible. I believe abortion is murder. I believe it is murder just as killing an elderly woman is murder, because I believe that they have the same life value. It's not just the Bible.
Caddis, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, and Maddie, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Everybody, please do show some love to Caddis and Maddie down below in the comment section. You guys are phenomenal. Yeah, I actually disagree. Yeah, the reason why I disagree, I don't think our species classification gives us value. I don't think our genome gives us value. I don't think the order of our DNA and our chromosomes gives us value. I don't think the way we look gives us value. I think specifically our conscious and subjective experiences give us value. And we see that fetuses don't have the ability to deploy those things until about 20 weeks. So before then, I don't really care about the fetus. And like, probably neither do you. Bridget,
I
thank you for
do.
the
I
swap.
really do. I really do.
So do
Because
you
it has
think that women with potential for consciousness?
I don't like the way you said that. It feels like I'm being set up, but yes. Oh,
Okay, yeah, and there's an issue with this that we could go over. So you're saying that consciousness is what is valuable. Consciousness is what grants the right to life, and because a fetus has the potential for consciousness in the future, we should just extend it the right to life now. So we should never extend rights based upon the traits that you'll have in the future. Like for instance, we value the age of 18. We think that it grants you the right to consent to sex.
and
If we were to
vote.
follow your logic, well, we'd say that a 10-year-old has a potentiality to be 18 in the future. And just like the fetus before it has consciousness, we should grant the 10-year-old the right to consent to intercourse before it's 18, right? So that's why we got to absolutely reject that shitty logic.
I don't understand.
Nika, thank you for the corgi.
I don't understand, Dean, because
I could
if
help.
that has the, it's not like I want this 10-year-old to do that, but if this fetus has the potential to become something one day, who are we to say that it shouldn't become that?
Well, I mean, yeah, the mother would be the person that could say that they shouldn't become that because they'd be enacting upon bodily autonomy and bodily integrity with a lack of reason not to, such as the moral impermissibility of the eviction of the fetus from her womb. And that's why I'd say it's a justified position. But like overwhelmingly, I can repeat the point that I just said. I just don't think that potentiality is valuable for granting rights. I kind of gave you an example insofar as why that's the case. But there's another like route that we could take this that is a little bit easier to understand. Do you think that human life begins at conception?
Yes.
And would
I
you
do.
agree with me that human life
Is
after
this
the
the
moment of conception
IUD
is going to
thing,
have
Dean?
potential?
Dean, are
It
you
is.
leading me down the IUD path? Okay.
I sure am. It seems like you're already familiar with the argument. So do I need to kind
I've
of
seen
recapture it with
you.
you, or could you just respond to it without
Yeah.
me going over it?
You can go over it again.
Yeah, IUDs can and do kill conceived zygotes after conception. If you value potentiality, that conceived zygote that the IUD is killing is going to have just as much potentiality as a fetus at 20 weeks.
Well, the IUD has been implanted to prevent pregnancy. You know, at least that woman is trying to prevent it. You know
Well, I
what
don't
I'm
think you
saying?
understand. An IUD doesn't just prevent conception. In some cases, it allows for conception to occur, and then it prevents implantation, killing it.
But a woman most likely will get an IUD so that she does not get pregnant.
Are you just talking about the intentions and like the knowledge of the mother?
Yes.
I don't. Okay, well, first of all, I don't think it's about intentions at all, right? Like, for instance, if I intend to get in my car to go to the gas station to get some G Fuel, to get like a Coke or something, but I slam 4 beers before I do and I wipe out a family of 4, am I a murderer? Or is that not murder because I didn't intend to kill him?
You're drunk though.
Brianna, thank you so much for the $5 on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love.
You took in that alcohol and you still got in your car.
So you're saying that I acknowledged and accepted a risk? Okay. Do you think that women with IUDs acknowledge and accept the risk that an IUD can kill a conceived zygote after the moment of conception?
I don't speak for all women. I did not actually know that until I heard you on.
If a woman does know that and still decides to engage in intercourse, is she culpable for murder?
I don't think so because she has the
Why not?
IUD to try. She has the IUD to try and prevent it.
Bro, Jackie, I don't know, like, what if you're like just like fucking stupid or something, and like
Okay,
she
Dean.
knows that this IUD will kill a like zygote. It doesn't matter like why, dude. I could buy like a bow and arrow to like go target practicing, but then I could also use that bow and arrow to like kill 10 people. Are you saying because I bought it to go target practicing that I shouldn't be culpable for murder?
Well, did you buy it to shoot 10 people, Dean Withers?
No, I got it for target practicing.
Oh, it. Ha!
Oh, it's a troll. 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 110%. It's a troll. 110%. 110%. It's a troll. Dave, my boy, how we doing? Did he vote for Trump?
No, I didn't. Can I ask you a question quickly?
No. All right, we're gonna go to move on to our next guest. That was what was that? What was that noise? When she was like, "Oh," like I can't even repeat it. I did. Oh, I'm cracking up over here. Claire, thank you for the heart me. What's up, buddy?
Wait.
How do you?
Wait a second. No.
Age,
No, leave.
fetus. Emily, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. Saying to take a shot every single time she called you Dean Withers. So true. So real. We are going to go to move on to our next guest, you guys. Everybody just do give me a moment. Someone in the comment section said, why does everyone hate you on Twitter? Oh, because it's like a Republican cesspool and I piss them all off. That's why. But hey, for the 6.1 thousand people hanging out with us in the stream here today, guys, make sure that you're double tapping away on that phone screen if you want to see some debates. What's up, Ark? Mage, did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
And why the hell would you ever make such a poor decision?
Well, I want America to go back to the status quo before, I guess, the white colonizers came and took all our land, and the best way is to destroy it within.
Okay, so you just voted for Trump to damage America? Yeah, you're kind of a piece of shit. Enoch,
How's
thank
that?
you so much for the glowing jellyfish. Because like you want to cause harm to women, you want to cause harm to women's rights, you want to prevent rape victims from accessing abortion. Like those white colonizers that you were just talking about. You're like kind of just as bad as them. Like you support the same systems, like you do. Like white colonizers supported systems that inevitably oppressed, killed, and created difference, right, between themselves and the native indigenous Americans, right? But then, like, here you are today advocating for systems that you know are harmful to, like, people of color, members of the LGBTQ plus community, and women that create, like, the same levels of, like, harm. Like, 65 great victims a day being denied access to abortion is something that you recognize to be bad, something you recognize to only be the case under second Trump presidency, and something that you vote for because of that.
Oh, no, it's just to systematically destroy what is in place right now. Because America's constructed off of that white colonizer mentality. Even
Did you hear me when I told you that you're just as bad as them?
yeah. Well, isn't that fair?
It absolutely is that fair. You're like, oh yeah, 65 great victims today being denied access to abortion is really bad, and you want that to happen. Like systemic oppression of people of color is really bad, and you want that to happen. Systemic oppression of gay people is really bad, and you want that to happen. You recognize all these things would be caused by a Trump presidency, and you wanted them to happen.
No, it's
You're a bad
systemic
person.
oppression of Native American people too, as well.
Yeah, no, that exists. You're not wrong about that, but it doesn't
Yeah.
change the other systems of oppression that you support and want to happen.
Well, if it all completely fails, so that they don't exist anymore, how could I support that if they fail?
What the fuck are you saying?
If they're destroyed from Trump presidency, if America fails, how could those systems be supported anymore or have the potentiality to be supported in the future if America is destroyed within or from within?
What are you saying?
Like if these systems are destroyed because of like
The
a Trump
systems won't be
presidency.
no, like quote unquote America will be destroyed by a Trump presidency because of
Yeah.
the emboldening of bigotry, prejudice, and these systems of oppression.
I
That's
think
the way
well,
that it's destroyed.
I think well, it's emboldening like dictatorship, fascism, like comparatively to Nazi Germany. And was that not destroyed? And in a sense,
I don't even know what you're saying at this point. You're just like a really stupid bad person. Like, do you consider yourself to be like on the left?
on the left, no,
Good for you because you're on the right.
on the right.
Yeah, no, like you're probably you're worse than like the MAGA droids that come up here because you recognize a harm then you want it. Like, do you want great victims to be denied access to abortion?
Oh no,
So then why did you vote for it?
because of the bigger picture of like systemically destroying America from within.
Oh, so
by
you think
installing-
that all things considered, great victims should be denied access to abortion because you quote unquote want America to be destroyed?
No, well, I guess they don't like.
No, answer my question. All things considered, should great victims be denied access to abortion because of your greater plan of the destruction of America?
Oh no, I don't think they should be.
So if all things considered, great victims shouldn't be denied access to abortion, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you're just justifying a vote for Harris over Trump. And also, someone commented, quote unquote, Dean, go easy on him. Why? I have more reason to go easy on Trump supporters that don't recognize the harm that they support and condone compared to this guy.
Oh, well, I guess they can go to states that allow abortion because they diverted it back to states' rights.
Yeah.
With the overturn.
How would, if you were to tell you're telling me that you care about indigenous Americans, so when they're getting colonized by the Europeans, what if you just told them that, I don't know, they could probably just go west?
Well, I don't know if I like actually care about.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Wow!
Yeah, but I don't know.
Archmage lost for words.
Yeah, well, I'm processing my thoughts. I don't know. It would revert to a natural state of, I don't know, America was destroyed and stuff like that. Before.
In order for America to be destroyed by a Trump presidency, people of color have to be destroyed first. Women have to be destroyed first. Gay people have to be destroyed first. The low and the middle class have to be destroyed first. Everybody but rich white men have to be destroyed first. And then once everybody but rich white men are destroyed, then America would crumble.
Yeah, pretty much. That's basically what would happen.
And that's what you support.
No, potentially start a nuclear war, possibly.
So you just want all humanity to die? All of humanity to die?
No.
Christopher, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. If a nuclear war were to start, all of humanity would be toast.
Depends on what nuclear weapons are used and the radiation fallout and stuff like that.
No, like experts have estimated, even from the Cuban Missile Crisis, that vast majority of all of the northern hemisphere would be gone, and that was the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like you're actually like the fucking Grinch, bro. Did you know? I definitely think that you're worse than Trump supporters.
But yeah, potentially. I don't know, but it would bring balance back to the world. Of humans are destroyed. We're kind of almost
so.
Like
Wait, did you seriously just say that destroying women, people of color, and gay people is bringing balance back to the world?
No, I'm destroying everybody, humans. We're kind of like a cancer to the world.
Thank you so much for the $2 on Venmo. Oh my God. Okay, this is Hitler rhetoric. Goodbye. Goodbye, Hitler rhetoric guy. You could leave now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kick me out. I don't know how to leave.
Okay. Bye, Hitler rhetoric guy. Naomi, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo. I do appreciate you for the love. Like what the fuck? I just don't even know what to say. We're gonna go ahead and get our next guest up in here. What the hell? We're gonna go ahead and move on. All right, we got Jake Clark loading up, and this is the queue. What's up, Jake? Did you vote for Trump?
I did, yeah.
All right, why did you do that?
I just like that. I think he's a good leader. I like his relationships with other world leaders and that he strikes fear into them and he keeps America safe.
Yeah, like who?
Like Putin, Kim Jong-un.
No, Putin's interfered with the last 3 elections to get him elected, and Putin thinks that he's easy to manipulate. And like we know this now because he said that he supports and endorses Putin's plan for the termination and ending of the Russian-Ukrainian war that would involve necessarily giving Ukrainian land to Russia.
Can you pull up a source of that? What? I don't.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can either just look at reporting on it from people like Philip DeFranco, all right, or you could just read it yourself. Just specifically look up Donald Trump's plan for Russia and Ukraine. You will see that his proposals would be like identical to that of Putin's. And I mean, we already knew this. Like, this was evident starting at the presidential debates when he said that he didn't want Ukraine to win.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to go into war. I think it's important that we settle war. I don't think war is good. And Trump's not the only president. I'm sorry. The only president in the past, what is it? I don't, like 15 years or what? How many years was it?
Donald Trump actively supports sending more money and more funding and more weapons to Israel until they destroy Palestine and finish what they started. And he actively endorsed and told Benjamin Netanyahu from the IDF to specifically invade and flatten Iran. And he said that he'd do it himself if they didn't.
We haven't gone to war under Trump's presidency yet. If we do have to go to war, it's to protect other American citizens, which I can agree with. I can stand by. But I think
First
Trump
of all, you didn't respond to my comments about Israel. And then second of all, we didn't go to war under Biden and Harris either. And there's actually more service members that died under Trump's term.
Say the Israel comments again. I want to respond to that. I'm sorry.
He actively supports further funding and weapons and support for Israel. And he does not support a ceasefire agreement. He just wants them to finish what they started and quote unquote win the war. And then he also supported them invading and flattening and attacking Iran, which would spark more conflict in the Middle East. Yeah, he's very pro-war.
But we haven't gone to war under him. I don't think he is pro-war. I think it just hasn't happened yet. You can say all this stuff,
What
but
what does it mean to be pro-war?
to be pro-war, to want a war.
Okay, yeah, he literally wants a war between Israel
So he
and
is
other
he is
people in
quote
the
for
Middle
quote
East.
said, "I want a war."
Yeah, at the rally in New Brunswick, New Jersey, he just straight up said that he wants to continue funding them and giving them money, support, and weapons.
I think he
so
mostly
they could finish what they started
mostly
and win the
just
war.
threatens because we have the most powerful military in the world. I think he just threatens and then they back down. But he's never actually done anything about it.
He's promised, not a threat, he has promised that he is the most pro-Israel president we've ever had, and he completely supports them, quote-unquote, winning with the war by finishing what they started, and that's all that he's been saying for the last 4 years. You're
Okay.
doing mental gymnastics. You're denying reality.
I don't think I am denying reality.
Yeah, it is. Like, I'm
the reality
literally
is that we
giving...
haven't gone to war under Trump's presidency.
We didn't go to war under Biden and Harris.
Yes, we did.
What war did we go into?
There was literally, Kamala was talking in her debate. She's like, nobody's in active war right now. And then soldiers literally responded. It's a viral TikTok. You can look it up. You're on TikTok all day. I know you've seen it before.
Okay, what war do we have troops deployed in that are fighting on battlegrounds? Oh, someone went on pause to go Google because it doesn't exist? We have active military bases around the world where there is troops always. What Kamala Harris said, and the same thing that I'm saying now, is that there's no American troops fighting in wars, which is true.
But then the American troops came out and literally said there were.
What war
So
were
were
they
they
fighting?
lying?
Yes. Well, they were. They were either lying or confused on what she said. My best
Okay.
guess is that they were active duty service members at an embassy or base located worldwide. That would be my best guess, right? But you got to tell me, what
Yep.
war are we fighting?
Can I look it up? Or are you going to get butthurt about that?
You could waste 30 seconds to look it up, but nothing will show. I mean, because we're not.
Okay. Well,
In the meantime, you guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen, sharing out this stream with a handful of friends. If you would like to support me, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds on those platforms. They go directly to me. And this guy is currently looking for the Trust Me Bro War as we speak right now. At a base near a war zone, I think it was said. Yeah, it was probably like some base in like a NATO country near Ukraine. That would be my best guess. Zuzu, thank you for the $2 on Venmo.
I just gave you 3 wars that we're in right now.
Oh, I couldn't hear you because you're on pause. Can you repeat them now that you could see me again? You just have to memorize them and then come back. So what are they?
The Yemeni Civil War, the Somali Civil War, Syrian Civil War.
What was the third one?
I think I'm pronouncing that right? Or did I say it wrong? Syrian
was the
Civil War?
Okay, Syrian Civil War, Yemeni Civil War, and then Somali Civil War. I have a question. What is a civil war?
What is a civil war?
Uh-huh.
A war with multiple countries fighting in it?
Wrong.
Okay. What is it?
Do you know anything about what happened in the American Civil War?
Oh, I'm so dumb. My bad. Civil war is when countries are fighting. These people and countries are fighting themselves.
Great.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was dumb of me.
So, I mean, you just said that there was U.S. involvement in these three civil wars.
Yep.
Probably. I mean, the CIA is always up to some fuck shit, right? But you know, that doesn't change the fact that we do not have active U.S. military service members fighting a war with boots on the
active
ground.
American citizens fighting in wars, whether it's
There's not.
there are.
There's no deployed military troops.
You literally
by
just said
our
yourself there are
DoD.
probably American citizens helping in those wars. You just said that.
No, that is
And then you
people.
said- and then you
that
said-
that
you
is
said
people.
CIA and all this other
That,
stuff.
that is people in suits sitting behind a desk in America dropping bombs on people.
Dudes sitting behind a desk in America. So those aren't.
that is not an active duty military troop. Are you saying, dude? I can't even believe like what you're saying. Like okay, if that's what you consider to be active involvement in a war, then you know that we were like more actively involved in war under Trump. There was a 432% increase in drone strikes in the Middle East by the people sitting in their suits in a desk in America. Right? So, I mean, even if we were to, because like obviously you're really pulling and stretching this point out to try to make an argument. But even if I accept your argument, we were very actively involved in wars under Trump.
Yeah, I just am confused on like how I have all this misinformation. Like you just think everything I've heard is just incorrect. I follow you, Dean, and Parker, or not you and Dean, Parker, and who's your other buddy? What's his name? I follow you guys because I'm genuinely curious and like understanding more, like getting more educated in politics in the U.S. And I would be surprised that all my stuff was misinformation.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, this bit specifically is misinformation. Like we're not fighting in any wars. That is true. Like my best guess for the video that you're referencing is people deployed in a base like in a NATO country near Ukraine, and they were just saying that they're like, they were just confused themselves. Okay, like I'm not gonna be honest. There's plenty of people in the military that are serving our country. And are doing a great thing, and they love it, and a lot of people in America would call it very patriotic, but that doesn't mean that they have to be geniuses.
Okay, you might be right. I guess I was just misinformed in that. I looked it up, and yeah, good point. But I would also I have other points too. I obviously didn't vote off of just one point.
What year were you born in?
What year was I born in? Mm-hmm. I'm 18 years old, 2006.
All right, lines up, good.
I think that the U.S. is more united under Trump, which sounds crazy, but I think it is. If you look at the popular vote, there was way more Republicans than there were Democrats. I think Democrats got all their votes from major cities.
Bro, there's no way you just said so. The first thing that I recognized. Now this was 2020, 2021. This was at a time where I had very liberal support for social issues already, but I still supported Trump. And the first thing that happened to me 2020, 2021 for me to stop supporting Trump was coming to the recognition that regardless of how effective his policy could ever be, he absolutely destroys America insofar as he introduces no unity and is divisive as all hell and pulls us apart. And that is uncontestable.
How has he pulled us apart?
Go to his Twitter. Read his tweet that he put out on Thanksgiving.
Words pull people apart. Okay.
Yes, the words from our president pull people apart.
Okay.
Are you denying that?
I'm denying that his Twitter comments pull people apart. Yes.
Hitler's words started a genocide.
Hitler put plans into actions. Trump isn't putting a genocide into action.
The comparison here is words from the most powerful leader of all that is currently alive.
You have 5.5 thousand people alive. You're leading these people into a certain thought process. Trump leads people. You can't say just because you're a leader, you can't compare a leader to Hitler. What are you talking about?
I'm absolutely contesting and rejecting your statement that the words from such an influential figure in modern day global history cannot create division. Like, of course, when Donald Trump has spent the last 8 years tweeting out, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving to everybody but the radical left, communists, goes on stage.
But you're radical left and you saw it. So how is he not tweeting it to you if you are seeing it? You don't know that.
So you're actually a victim of his words. Yeah. So you have played in to this greater scheme of divisiveness, right? And you have bought into the things that he has said, and now you help create that division.
Wait, okay. I bought into Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving.
So when Donald Trump says, no, you're being intentionally obtuse. Do I need to explain it better for you to understand?
When
he says Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving for 8 years straight to everybody but the radical left communists.
How is he blocking out all the radical left?
Do you mind if you shut the fuck up?
You're just okay. Keep going, bud. Keep going.
And you're asking me, how is he blocking the people on the left out from that message?
Correct.
Because that's what he says in the message?
You just said he only said Merry Christmas and Happy Thanksgiving, so he obviously didn't also say that.
He did.
You're just digging deeper into this idea that's false. You're creating these false ideas in your head.
Do I need to give you a quote?
I mean, you can. If you're asking me
you stop talking now.
Yes,
while I read you a literal quote. It's like you're so scared to like come to grips with reality, man.
Okay.
One moment. Let's see here. What day is Thanksgiving, chatters? Ah, there we go. All right. Happy Thanksgiving to all, including the radical left lunatics who have worked so hard to destroy our country and who have miserably failed, but always will fail because their ideas and policies are so hopelessly bad that the great people of our nation have a landslide victory to those that want to make America great again. And I mean, this same
read the first part again.
Read
the first part again.
Happy Thanksgiving to all, including the radical left.
Beauty. So he was including the radical left. He actually shouted them out.
Okay. All right, Jake. Do you have a brain? I want to just be honest with me.
I'm pretty sure I do, yeah.
So the rhetoric, saying that the radical left lunatics who have worked so hard to destroy our country but have miserably failed, who always will fail, is what led to an insurrection on January 6th, and is what led Donald Trump to sending false slates of electorates to 7 different key swing states to send fake votes into Congress to install himself for a second presidential term against the voice and the vote and the will of the people.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think Trump does unite people, though. I still stand by my point. He says some dumb stuff. We all say some dumb stuff.
I want you to go tell this message of unity.
Dean, you've said the N-word before, bro. Everybody messes up. So I don't know why you're acting like people don't say dumb stuff.
One second. So I mean,
he's very blunt, and he says some rude stuff, but it's because he hates them. They've been attacking him for years and years, and we are still more united as we would have been compared to Kamala.
Hey, Jake, I was in the middle of talking.
You weren't, though. You were done.
I was not done talking. Do you think I'm racist?
Do I think you're racist? I don't. I actually don't think you're racist at all, no.
Okay. And the reason that I'm not racist, even though I said the N-word when I was younger, is because of 3 things, okay? All right? Accountability, progression in character, and apology.
Yep.
So, I mean, if you want to relate me saying the N-word when I was younger towards Donald Trump trying to coup the country and rig the outcome of an election or creating division with the use of hateful rhetoric, where is his accountability? Where is his change in character? And where is his apology?
I think he's definitely changed character since the first term. He's definitely calmed down. And we're going to watch that as he becomes president.
Okay,
I promise.
So then play me a clip of him admitting that he lost 2020.
Of him admitting that he lost 2020? There's not a clip out there
because
that
it doesn't exist, because there has been no change, and you're just an idiot. Jake, let's fucking face the facts here, buddy. I want you to go scream this message of Trump brings unity, right, to every single woman and girl in this country that Trump stripped federal protections for their access to abortion from. Go scream that in the face of the 65 rape victims per day that are denied access to abortion. Go scream that in the face of every single person of color, right, who has been impacted by the emboldened bigots and racists in our country because of Trump's win, subsequent of his history of racism, in which he's never held himself accountable for, in which he's never apologized for, in which he's never built and became a better person from. Okay? Go tell that to every single member of the LGBTQ plus community, right, who now feels under a greater threat and which has existed since it was illegal for gay people to get married because of Trump's emboldening of homophobes, with his push to put the Bible and God back in school, and his appeal to the Christian evangelicists to support him in his presidential campaign. Go tell that to the average American who is going to suffer from his economic policy that regressively impacts them the most with the use of his tariffs.
What does Trump have anything to do with abortion now after Roe v. Wade is passed? He's literally come out and said, you can look it up, that he feels for I have to say grape, right? Because I don't want to get in trouble. Grape victims and I'm allowed to say incest, correct? I don't know. Am I allowed to say incest? That's allowed or what?
I mean, you've already said it twice.
Okay. So the grape victims and incest victims, he said he wishes he could change that around. It's statewide. It's not federal. What is he going to do about it? Roe v. Wade just got turned over. If you think anybody...
And why was Roe v. Wade overturned?
Because it was incorrect and it should be decided by the state.
And why was it ruled as being incorrect?
Because Trump signed off on it and he believed it was incorrect.
Because Trump put those justices in place, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you could say...
What's wrong with the state deciding, though? I don't understand. That's the only way that we can, both get the right way. Abortion is completely messy. You can agree with that. It's terrible. Religion gets
I don't think that abortion is wrong. I don't think that there's any argument to justify that abortion is wrong.
No, I
so
said
why do you think that abortion should be left up? Why do you think that abortion should be left up to the states compared to the federal government?
My personal belief is I don't think there is a right or wrong on both sides of abortion. Because I can see both sides clearly. So
then why do you think that the white men in Washington,
right
D.C.
now. I think
if you don't think that there's...
Please answer your question.
No, if you don't think that there's a right and wrong in the context of abortion, then why do you think that the white men in Washington, D.C. should hold the ultimate superior high ground to determine what women that preside within their respective states should be able to access in terms of healthcare? If you genuinely felt as if there was no right and wrong in the issue of abortion, well, then you'd see it how it is perceived as unjust for a majority opinion to determine what others who otherwise couldn't vote because they're minors or would constitute the minority of a state wanted to do, and their decision-making processes between them and their doctor. You're just saying, oh, there's no right and wrong. It's a super messy issue that no one could really get right. But then you want to put power in the hands of white men in Congress to determine that for the women that preside in their states?
That's how the country runs. We need leadership. We need people to lead us. It's us people voting white people into power. That's on us. What do you want to do about it? How are you going to change it? Also, what does the color of their skin matter in this situation? I'm very confused.
I mean, Jake, so first of all, you said that, I mean, we could talk about that secondly.
Abortion way more, so
we could talk about that secondly, but I'm not going to just let you go over this issue. But if you're curious, insofar as why the fact that they're white is relevant, is because black women are disproportionately, right, subjugated to oppression due to pro-life restrictions compared to white women. If we look at the predominant motivations insofar as why women are getting abortions, we see a multiplicity of things, but generally the first reason would result down to a lack of financial stability, right? And it is the case that black Americans, specifically black women Americans, right, have lower socioeconomic standards on average because of slavery and its aftermath, as well as the current day systemic racism that we all live under, meaning that they're subjugated the most. Right? So that is why it is relevant to point out not just the gender, but the race of the men making these decisions in Washington, D.C. Now, to move on to what I wanted to say to you that you wanted to move past so quickly.
No, let's talk about that. I actually want to talk about that.
No, because I wanted to talk about the first argument that you made, but seemingly you're terrified of it.
I'm not terrified of anything.
So why should abortion be left up to the states compared to the federal government? Is it because you think when you put that power in the hands of the states,
are you going to answer
individualistic power in the hands of the people?
Are you going to answer it for me, or you going to let me answer?
I asked you a question. I wasn't answering.
Are you going to answer it for me, or are you going to let me answer?
Jake, maybe if you'd use your brain, I wasn't answering the question for you. I was asking you a question of this is why.
Okay.
Jake, no, you get a 10-second timeout because you're being a bad boy. Put your emotions aside. No, I told you I'm giving you a 10-second timeout because you're being a bad boy. Put your emotions aside. Engage in this conversation rationally, okay? When I'm explaining something to you, then you're like, no. You're not thinking with your brain, okay? You're thinking with your high levels of testosterone, okay? Your big biceps. So just 10-second timeout, little bro. Continue.
All right. I think it should be left up to the state because I believe it gives American citizens both the option to abort or not to abort. I think it's the only way it's the only middle ground that there is in an argument like this.
Wait, did you just say that? That was funny. Do you want to do? So
It's so funny. I'm confused.
leaving it up to the states as took that option away from 1 out of every 3 women in our country.
But they can cross the border.
You just
They can
said-
drive across the border.
You just said that leaving it up to the states.
So if there was a
gives-
federal ban, that would be
shut
better?
up. Shut up. You
If
just
there was a
said
federal ban, that'd
shut
be
up.
better.
No, it would be worse.
Okay,
You
exactly.
just said that leaving it up to the states. Exactly what?
Trump is the only one that wanted it to be left up to the states.
No,
Other
no, no, no,
Republicans
no, no,
wanna
no.
ban
Exactly
it
what you're
across the
talking about. A
border.
federal ban.
All right, dude. What?
So
I'm talking about. Would you rather?
You're
have it
saying,
banned
oh my
or-
god, oh my god. So you're like, oh, you're trying to justify one bad thing of leaving abortion.
Dean, you tell me the middle ground right now.
Shut the
and I will
fuck
agree
up.
with you.
You're saying that one bad thing of leaving abortion up to the states that leaves 1 out of every 3 women out of elective access to abortion and condemns 65 great victims a day to be denied access to abortion is justified because there's a worse alternative, that being a federal ban where all women and all great victims don't have access. This is like such backwards thinking logic. Like literally imagine, right, if Hitler tried to justify the Holocaust
Bro, please,
by
for the
saying,
love of
well,
God,
shut
stop
the
doing
fuck
that.
up, Jake. I told you what to do. And imagine if Hitler tried to justify the Holocaust by saying, well, Mao Zedong genocided 75 million, right, Chinese individuals during his run. Like, no, you can't just say that you're morally superior because someone could do something worse. Like, I'm telling you, right, where the moral high ground is at on this issue. The moral high ground on this issue is advocation for federal protections for access to abortion for all women and girls. So you can't defend your shitty position of leaving it up to the states by saying it could be worse.
So you're saying that everybody should be able to have the right to get an abortion across the
Straight.
But what that goes against so many other people's opinions, though. So now you're still in an argument. So what's your point? You're saying exactly what I'm saying, but it's just your own. If I could have it my way, I would ban it all across the board because I believe it's murder. But I understand that's impossible, and not
So
everybody.
why do you think
believes in the
abortion
same.
is murder?
Everybody.
Haley, thank you for the $20 on PayPal. I do appreciate you for the love, Haley. Everybody, please do show some love to Haley down below in the comment section. Haley says, I love how the same people who say eggs are too expensive because of Biden suggest women travel across state lines for healthcare because of Trump. So real. And I appreciate you for the $20. That's a damn good point. So why is abortion murder?
Because when sperm hits the egg, when it becomes fertilized, it has the opportunity to become a life.
Well,
I
it's
think
not an
it's a life
opportunity to become
actually.
alive. That's when the life starts. Okay.
Yeah, I think it is
So what
too.
gives humans their value?
What gives humans their value? The fact that we're humans and that. What do you mean? Because we're humans. That's our
You
value.
think that our species specification is what gives us value?
Yes, we're the only
Okay.
species like us.
So I just want to I just have a question. So like when a kid dies, you're like, oh my god, like I'm so sad because I lost a member of my species. You're like, oh my god, I'm so sad because like they're so innocent and they like lost out on this future and this current capacity to perceive the world around them subjectively with this amazing innocent subjective conscious experience. You're just like literally sad because a member of your species died.
What, dude? You just stretched that so far. If I saw another human being,
I didn't stretch
would
it.
be sad.
One second, Jake.
Sorry.
I didn't stretch that at all.
Yes, you did.
I just no. You said that humans have value because of
What
their
makes
species
What
classification.
makes a human valuable? What do you give me? What's your answer to that? I'm so confused.
Yeah,
What
the
makes a
conscious
human valuable?
experience. I think that our conscious
Conscious
experience is what makes us
a
valuable.
human valuable?
Can you stop talking while I'm answering your question?
I apologize. My bad.
Good boy. Yeah, I think that it's our conscious experience in which would give us value, and I think that this is abundantly clear, right? When we're trying to determine, right, why we perceive value in other humans, right, I don't think it has anything to do with their species classification. I don't think that has anything to do with the way in which our genome or our DNA is organized. I don't think it has anything to do with what biologists call Homo sapiens sapiens, and it's all to do with the abilities of humans, that specifically being the ability to deploy conscious experience, okay? And I only value humans under that pretense. I don't value fetuses for that reason. I don't value dead people for that reason. I don't value brain dead patients for that reason, right? And obviously you're going to hold the same standard here. Like I could just ask you a simple question. A brain dead patient is someone that is the permanent cessation of all brain activity forever, okay? But yet they are still human and they are still alive, right? In accordance with your standard that humans are valuable because of their species classification, would you say that it is murder to pull the plug on a brain dead patient? Iris, thank you for the $5 on Venmo.
Is it murder to pull the plug on it? The people that have
Victoria, thank you for the $5 on Venmo as well.
If the family,
and Anna with the $32 on PayPal. I want to see some love for Anna down below in the comment section. Thank you so much. W's for Anna down below. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much, Anna.
I think if the family makes that decision, I think it's a terrible decision, though, to be honest with you.
I'm asking
But
you
this
if it's
goes right
murder.
back to my point then.
No,
Dean,
I'm not asking you about your point. I asked you if it was murder.
Is what murder? Pulling the plug?
Uh-huh.
Not if the family decides to.
Great. Well, I mean, you just conceded your argument because you told me that human life is valuable because of its species classification
It
and
is.
the fact that it's alive. However, now you're saying it's not murder to kill a member of your species under the same
You're
pretenses.
taking just an outrageous situation, comparing it to something that's not even similar
No, Jake.
at all.
No, Jake. It's actually not in an outrageous situation at all, and I'll go ahead and describe it to you. So when we have principled conversations about morality, we speak in the context of principles. Okay, and I'm asking you what trait is present in humans that drives you to perceive them as valuable, and you're saying
I would
it's
say
just-
now that I
shut the
understand
fuck
the-
up, Jake.
Okay, sorry. I
And
thought
you're
you asked
saying,
me
and
a
you're
question.
saying it's the fact that they're both a human and alive, right? And in this principle, if you are an alive human, you have moral value that makes it unjust to ingress in that and terminate that life, right? That principle will apply to a fetus, it will apply to you and me, but it will also apply to a brain dead patient, right? And the fact that you say no, it's not murder to pull the plug on a brain dead patient violates that principle, introduces an internal contradiction, right? And we know that we can't have internal contradictions within our views. So the way that we would solve this qualm is by addressing another trait that we could use to attribute value to humanity, right? And another trait that we could use to attribute value to humanity here is absolutely our conscious experience.
Okay, until I'm 18, I'm not an adult, right? So my parents have
All right, well, you just sold the bag, bro. Oh, yeah, you're 18. Apologies for screaming at a kid. Sold the bag, bro. Apologize for literally bullying a fetus. Moving on to our next guest. All right, let's go and see what our next guest does have to say, everybody. Dude, just give us a minute. Bro. Yeah. What's up, user? Did you vote for Trump? Also, chat. Yeah, there's a kid. He said until I'm 18. He's a baby. He's a baby. He's a baby. Not a minor trying to control women, all right? You at least have to move out of a woman's house, your mother's house, before you before you could even try to do that one. You know what I mean? Sitting over here controlling women, acting like here in about 2 hours he's not gonna go sit down at the dinner table and eat something his mommy made him.
So,
Hey, what's up, man? How old are you?
19.
Goodbye, rice pudding.
No.
Jennifer, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. I do appreciate you for the love, Jennifer. Everybody, please do show some love to Jennifer down below in the comment section. That is so incredibly kind of you. What's up, Zach? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, I did.
And why is that?
Well, I wanted to thank you for your service for getting Trump elected.
How did I get Trump elected?
I just think like real masculine men see you and they're like, well, I'm not going to vote for that. Of course,
Okay,
I'm not going to vote the way that guy votes. Because you carry yourself like a little girl, bro. Like it's not respectable.
Are you
like,
saying
people
that
try to
like, like W feminism? Like, hello, are you just like admitting that like men are stupid, dumb creatures and women are based and smart as all hell? Like I'm sitting over here, like I'm constructing like these logical, like I'm sitting over here, I'm like constructing these logical arguments. I'm citing resources, I'm citing specific policy, and you're like, oh, you carry yourself like a woman, bro.
It's
You know
just
what?
like you're carrying
Hell
like,
yeah.
what you're saying. I don't care about your arguments. I mean, like the way you carry yourself, it's not respectable. So I don't understand. Like that's why I want to thank you for your service. Like
You don't
are one of
respect
the
your
reasons
mother?
Trump is your president.
You don't respect your mother? So you just said I carry myself like a woman and it's not respectable. So you're saying that women aren't respectable?
I respect
Is this
my
the quiet
mom
part
for
out
raising a
loud?
real man. I don't respect your mom because look at what she raised.
No, Zach, that wasn't my question. That was a complete red herring because you don't want to
cupcake.
engage in the content material of a cupcake. So what specifically about me screams cupcake?
Oh, you just act gay as hell, bro.
Oh, okay. So now we're introducing an intersection between misogyny and homophobia. Zach, we're going to address it all, but I just need you to be specific.
Specific about how you act like a cupcake.
Yeah, like what character attributes, qualities, or traits of myself do you find to be undesirable?
I mean, the way you talk, the way you laugh, the way you look, the way you like make arguments. It's just like
What specifically? Like that's
complete,
not specific. Like
no,
what
yeah.
about the way I talk? What about the way I act? What about the way I look?
I mean, you look like a little girl. You laugh like a little girl.
Oh,
What do you
okay.
mean, bro?
So this is
It's
how
like
you
how you carry
rationalize.
yourself.
So like this is how like you rationalize this shit. So here's the inside scoop, you guys. So Zach is internalized homophobe. One second, Zach. Wait your turn. Have impulse control. So Zach has internalized misogyny and internalized homophobe. Hey Zach, can you wait your turn?
So if you can do it, I can do it. Right?
Can you?
I'm just cutting you off like you did every guest that cooked your ass before I
The
got on.
vigilante shit is overplayed. Everyone says that. Can you wait your turn?
What's the vigilante shit?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you out. Like cut everyone out. Can you wait your turn? Impulse control, big boy.
That's
You're
what
over
I'm
here
saying.
screaming
You're
that
not-
you're over here screaming that I'm a
Well,
cupcake and I act like a child, but then you don't have enough impulse control to wait your turn. I thought we learned that in 3rd grade.
I think you're much worse than that, but I'm not going to use those words on TikTok.
Okay, I know. You probably couldn't spell them if you tried. It's not that you don't want to use them on TikTok. You probably just don't know how to pronounce them. Okay, but
I won
that's
the
another
TikTok.
that's another thing. That's another thing. Can you wait your turn? 5, 4, 3,
Calm down,
2.
bro. What you-
Good boy. Good boy. Thank you. So, anyways, I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. Okay, impulse control, buddy. Who's a 3rd grader now? You're absolutely fucking projecting. You're like comparing me to a kid. You're comparing me to like a 3rd grader. You're comparing me to that has to have guidance from their parents, have to have guidance from their siblings, have to have guidance from their teachers, right? It was an absolute fucking projection. I'm over here babying you. Like, why is it always the case that like these really like not that bright like little boys that like to come up into my stream and like make a point like absolutely lack impulse control, like to all degrees of regards whatsoever. Like I will offer you a fair and opportunity to speak. Like I'm gonna start using tactics that I'd use on my nephew. Okay, because I need to be fair. I need to make sure that you feel comfortable, you feel seen, heard, acknowledged, and you feel like you're getting a fair bargain. Okay, so I'm gonna do that now. As soon as I'm done speaking, I'll let you speak for as long as you want. All right. But in order for you to get that opportunity to speak for as long as you want, you have to show me your impulse control, big boy. Can you do it?
You see how you're acting right now?
I'm acting like your fucking daddy.
You're
That's
acting
what I'm
like
acting
my older
like.
sister. That's my whole point. Like you carry yourself like a woman. So
I'm acting like a superior. Great. So do you have the impulse control, Zach? That's a big question right now. Like I said, I will let you say whatever the hell you want to. Dude, you will get an opportunity to say whatever you want because I will dunk on it. It's fine. Okay. This is a safe space where you get whatever you want off your chest. Okay. Like it'll be bad for you in the end. So I'll give you that opportunity. But it's my turn to speak. Is that fair?
I've already said what I wanted to say.
Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and respond to it. So yeah, Zach, here's the issue. So like, first and foremost, when you say that I'm the reason why you voted for Trump, you're chronically online and you need to touch grass, right? If some dude on your TikTok phone screen that you swipe through once a day, right, made you vote a certain way within the general election, you seriously need to turn your phone off and touch some grass. You are chronically online. Okay. And then second of all, right, the whole comparison between me and women, because I'm up here making logical and sound arguments, right, that thoroughly debunk and disprove all of the misinformation that comes up onto my live every day. It's unintentionally feminist as shit, right? You're just admitting and recognizing that men drive their decision-making processes with emotion more than women, and women typically are not only more intelligent, not only more educated, but more logical than men. Right. But like in an unintentional W, of course, you didn't mean it that way. Right. So I want to address the misogyny and then just like wrapping it into like the whole I'm gay thing. You look like a girl. I act like a girl. And then I remind you of your sister. There's some really there's some weird shit going on with you, bro. You want me bad. And it went from haha funny to haha weird. when you made the comparison to the sister. But go ahead.
You're like making it a weird sexual thing. I'm just telling you that you act very feminine, and men don't respect men that act feminine. So like, you're not going to be successful. And like, I feel like you make people run away from the Democratic Party with like the way you carry yourself.
Oh, I know, Zach. You posited that hypothesis, so it's not like you have any evidence for it. And you said I'm not going to be successful. Hey, buddy,
Yeah,
I got.
people in.
Okay, yeah, Zach. I got photographed by the New York Times yesterday. What did you do?
Oh no, I mean you have like viewership. I just don't think you're succeeding in helping your party out. As evidenced by the
So do you have an argument?
Yeah, did you see the 2024 election results?
Yeah, but the 2024
Compared to the
election
2020.
results aren't necessarily an argument that I would be pushing people further from the left and towards the right. Like, for instance, it could be the case that I on my own actually net push people more towards the left, but because of the other pressures, right, getting people to vote a certain way, there's more pressures to get people to vote for the right than the positive pressure that I apply to get people to vote for the left. So you'd specifically have to isolate for my impact by informing me on, like, what specific actions of mine would draw people away from the left. And, like, so far, all you've just been able to say is that I'm
Pretty easy to do.
feminine.
I mean, you're going to need the white male vote to win elections. I just don't think a person that carries himself like you is the best person for the Democratic Party to win the white male vote.
Yeah, and
That's
like I'm,
like-
I'm still waiting for you to explain to you. I'm still waiting for you to explain like how. Like all that you've been able to come up with so far is that I'm feminine.
I mean, there's no real explanation besides like what I've already said, which is you
That I'm
carry yourself
feminine.
like a woman, so people aren't going to listen to you. Or,
Oh,
like,
okay. So you
men
don't.
aren't going to listen to you.
Oh, so you don't think men should listen to women? Do you think that men are better at leading than women?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Okay. Why?
They're just not as emotional, rely more on logic.
Oh, okay.
Like all the reasons, pretty much in the category.
Yeah. Hey, so Zach, that's actually wrong. Men are more likely to drive their decision-making processes with their emotion. It's abundantly clear. Men commit 92% of all violent crimes. Men commit 83% of self-unalivings. Men commit 73% of hard drug substance abuse as an unhealthy coping mechanism to deal with unprocessed emotions. It's also the case that men are... One moment, almost wait. It's also like the case that men are more likely to engage in like irrational risks, right? Because they don't drive their decision-making processes, right? With a consideration for the long term or immediate use of logic, but more so emotions. This is evidently clear when we see that most gamblers are men, most drunk drivers are men, most reckless drivers are men, right? And then just for a single third and final point, right? Women are literally biologically designed to deal with stress better, to have more informed decision-making processes, right? This is evolutionarily derived from childbirth. They have thicker dendrites in the context of their spine that would produce these results, such as better performance in academia, more degrees, better performance in STEM-related fields. So, like, the idea that women are more emotional than men has been thoroughly debunked by Dean Withers. You're wrong.
And that debunks anything. Crime rates
Yes.
today, like leadership ability, and you're bringing up crime rates. Like, how do you?
Yes. Yeah. Because our
It's like you're
violent
so smart
crimes,
and you don't realize how like.
Zach, are violent crimes emotional or logical?
I mean, it depends. They can be either one.
What violent crime is logical?
Like, what about people getting arrested for like self-defense issues, things like that? Like, it's not always just because you hate the person that you're
Is
killing.
self-defense a violent crime?
I just said, don't people get arrested for that?
They don't get convicted
they
of
kill
that
someone,
because
when
it's
they kill
not
a
a
homing
violent
raid?
crime.
When they kill someone who's a home invader, you don't think anyone's ever been arrested for that?
They're
Like,
arrested for it, but they're not convicted for it because it's not a violent crime. In fact, that's a defense in court. Lydia, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. So now, self-defense is
You're not
a
like
violent
you're not understanding the question like whatsoever.
You're not understanding anything whatsoever. I asked you what violent crime is logical, and you said self-defense. Self-defense is not a violent crime. In fact, self-defense is an
no one's ever
argument
been
in court to
arrested
get
for
you
that?
exonerated of a violent crime. No one's
one's ever
ever
been
been.
arrested for self-defense?
No one's ever been arrested for
exonerated?
self-defense.
And then been exonerated later on.
You
Like,
can't be arrested for self-defense because self-defense is nothing more than an argument in court. Self-defense is not a violent crime.
You're trying to make the point that men don't rely on logic because they're quick to kill someone. Like, that has nothing to do. It's not true for one, and it has nothing to do with leadership, like being the president. We're talking
No,
about.
I said that 92% of men commit violent crimes. And then I tried to describe this to you, but you just have a very low IQ, which was
Yeah,
expected
you're trying to
based upon your
pivot
preface on
from
the lie.
leadership to crime because you know that like it's not a real argument.
So
You're just trying to pivot away.
it's not a pivot, right? Because I asked you why men are better at leading than women, and you said because men are less emotional than women. I gave you about 5 different reasons why. You specifically attached yourself onto the reason of violent crime. You said that violent crimes, right, are not relevant, right, in the determination of which gender is going to typically express more emotion, right? And I'd say it is, right? Because violent crimes are not logically driven. Violent crimes are emotionally driven. They are an extremely harsh emotional response to external stimuli
wrap this up?
that we see disproportionately committed by men. In fact, 92% are committed by men. And it's funny because on the broader scale, we're more likely to see people with lower socioeconomic standards commit violent crimes. But yet men have higher socioeconomic standards on average compared to women and commit 92% of them. We
Bro, you're
typically
saying
see
that
people with
men-
less wealth commit more violent crimes. But
You're
yet men
saying
have
men-
more wealth than women, yet they commit 92% of them. Right? And it absolutely is the case that if women were more emotionally
None of
driven
this
than
matters,
men,
dude.
then we'd expect to at least see more women committing violent crimes. Same thing goes for self-unaliving. Same thing goes for hard drug substance abuse. Right? Same thing goes for irrational risk-taking, such as gambling, drunk driving, or reckless driving. And then the cherry on top is that you could never give me an argument in a mammalian, babillion, trillion years to justify
You
that
won't
women
let
are
me
more
speak,
emotional
but
than
you
men.
keep yapping about nothing.
It's not that I'm yapping about nothing. It's that it's that you just don't
Nope,
understand
that's exactly
nothing
what
that
it
I'm
is.
yapping about.
Let me talk. Just let me talk now, because none of that matters. Like you're saying, men rely on logic less because they commit violent crimes. Don't you think it's because they're capable of violent crimes more so than a woman? Like, which one do you think is going to have more violent crimes? Obviously, the
Great
men.
point, but even the ones that don't involve like the exercisation of physical strength, men still destroy in, such as cyberbullying with threats of violence. Men commit 95% of cyberbullying with threats and violence. Is one gender more capable than
It
another?
doesn't matter. Men are more capable of violence.
cyberbullying?
Of course, they're going to be more violent
Because
They're
they're
more
more emotional.
because they're more capable of it.
What
Of
makes a
course.
man more capable at cyberbullying than a woman?
Cyberbullying? I'm saying men are more violent. Men are more violent overall. So of course, it's going to bleed into any form of violence
So why are men more violent?
because they're more capable of being violent.
What makes a
Men
man
don't
more
resolve their
capable at
issues
it?
with violence like men do.
What makes a man more
When you get in a
capable at
fight-
violence over the internet?
When women get in a fight, it's just yelling, it's back and forth. When men get in a fight, men are always ready for like physical violence. That's the difference. That's why men have more violent crimes. Like it's basic math. Men.
Yeah, and is
going to
physical
be more
violence a really emotional
It's such
thing or a very logical
It's
thing?
like a stupid non-point. Like that's my whole point about you.
Hey,
Like, you make a stupid
Zach,
non-point.
is
Don't matter.
physical violence emotional or logical?
We already went through it. It can be either.
No.
It's more so emotional. It can be either though.
So you think that it's emotional. So when you say that men are more capable of this more emotional thing than women, you're making my point for me.
No, I'm not. It's a non-point. That's my whole point. Of course, men are more violent. How does that make them not better leaders?
Yeah,
Of course
because
they're more violent. Nobody's gonna argue.
because the exemplary like making decision making processes that would involve like enactments of like unjust violence, etc. Right, would be a decision making process that is driven off of emotions, not a decision making process that is driven off of logic. So it's like when you just like kind of come out swinging and saying like this is what men do and this is something that women don't do or do to a lesser degree. Well, I mean, like you're making my argument for me actively because you're just describing, right, a difference between the decision-making processes that we typically see predicated on gender that very purely, blatantly, and simply describes, right, how women guide themselves with logic more than emotion and how men guide themselves more with emotion more than logic. I mean, like, seriously, you are
Is that why
making
if
my
you scroll on
point for me.
TikTok right now? Is that why if you scroll on TikTok, you'll see like 100 videos of girls saying that they're crying because they got the wrong nail color? Like the gender known for crying about non-issues, you think they're less emotional?
So the gender known for crying about
make sense in real life.
non-issues. So when was the last time that a woman has punched a hole in her wall because she lost a game on Fortnite? When was the last time
Bro, that's a meme. That's not reflected in.
That the last time a woman killed her husband and kids because her husband divorced her? When was the last time that a woman did any of these things? And quite frankly, right, if you want to think back through any bad decisions made in the context of human history, chances are they were made by a man, right? And this whole thing about women crying more than men, okay, right? Well, the scientific basis for this, apart from just misogynistic stereotypes, it just has to do with the fact that women are more emotionally mature than men. And
think
what is more emotionally mature to do, right? To let your
What do you think
emotions build up by
stereotypes come
keeping them inside and not releasing them to let them eventually boil over, or in a very mature manner expressing your emotions as they come.
Yeah, where do you think stereotypes come from, bro? I think people just make them up.
But
answer my question.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's my point about you. You deny reality, you give non-points, and then you expect that to be a winner for the Democratic Party?
So what was my last point?
Stop listening, bro. All you do is yap. Like,
I know,
came here to
Zach,
talk.
you are
Not-
really
not for a
stupid.
monologue.
It's not that they're non-points, it's that your IQ is like 6.
No, it's just that I've explained how they're non-points. Because, like, of course,
You
men are
have
more
not
violent,
only have you not explained,
and then of course,
not
women
only
are more
have
emotional.
you, not only have you not explained how my last point was a quote unquote non-point, you literally admitted to not even listening. You need to keep up there, buddy. You're drowning right now.
Everything you've said is like technically true, but it doesn't matter in the way that you think it does. Like, of course, men are more violent, but you need somebody like.
Holy fuck, Zach, you just fucked yourself. The ultimate concession. So I went from making non-points to being technically true. I can't even do it with you. I can't even do it with you. Like, dude, what like a prime example of just a really stupid guy. Like man,
not realize what
I have a
non-point
question.
is?
When was the last time that you went on a date with a woman that didn't file a restraining order against you immediately after? And then Maze, thank you for the $5 on Venmo saying that Zach thinks the only emotion is sad. W Maze. Jenna with a $10 on Venmo saying win. Thank you. Shut the fuck up while I thank my donors. Jenna, thank you for the $10 on Venmo saying win. Thank you for doing the good work. I appreciate you so much for the love, Jenna. And Sierra, thank you for the $20 on Venmo saying yes, Deanie, walk him like a dog. W's for Sierra down below. W's for Jenna down below. And W's for Maze down below. If you want to support me on Venmo or PayPal, they're both in my bio, and I do appreciate you guys for the love. Are you going to punch a hole in your wall after you leave this debate?
You think you walk
Charles, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I do appreciate you for the love. One moment. I'm thanking a donor. Thank you, Charles, for the $5.
Of course, they're more violent than women. You think men being more violent than women is a sign of poor leadership? Like, that's a complete non-point. I don't think you get the concept of a non-point. Like, it's technically true, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's
Hitler
like-
was a bad leader, yeah?
Hitler, yeah, he was pretty bad.
Was that because he was like really fucking violent?
How does it feel that you cried about Trump being Hitler all these years, and he's your president now?
Well, first of all, Donald Trump isn't the president. Inauguration would be in January. You don't know your shit. And then
Come on,
second
bro.
of
He's
all,
like, don't
play
you
me a
president-
clip of me calling Donald Trump Hitler.
Donald Trump called Hitler?
No, you said, I've called Donald Trump Hitler. Play me a clip.
I mean, if it wasn't you, it was Harry, it was Parker, it was one of the other queers y'all
Clip.
got.
Queers. Okay, so now it's the case, right, that we're starting to engage in homophobia. So I have a question. Do you think that it's wrong to be gay?
I'm not scared of you. I just said you're probably
Anna,
gay.
thank you for the $5 on PayPal. Is that because you want to fuck me?
Wait, are you guys not gay? Because that would be news to me.
No, I would be straight, right? But answer my question. Do you think it is wrong to be gay?
Yeah.
Why?
It's unnatural. It's unbiblical.
Okay, neutrality. So, first of all, would you say if being gay was natural, that it would no longer be wrong?
If it was natural, then it wouldn't be wrong.
Great. And the term natural just refers to what we see or we don't see in the state of nature, right?
I think what is natural is what God's created by God's design.
Anna, thank you so much for the $55 on PayPal. Let's go, Anna. Oh my God, let's go. Let's show some love to Anna down below in the comment section right now for the $55 donation. That is so incredibly kind of you. It means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much, Anna. Everybody, please show some love to Anna down below in the comment section, literally right now, you guys. That is so incredibly kind of you. Massive W's for Anna. You know what, Zach? You're starting to not really be worth my time all too much, but I still do want this point to play out. One moment.
I wanted you to know that you're the reason Trump won.
One second. Hush, boy. So I'm just going to go ahead and play you this clip to respond, because I just don't even feel like saying it out loud myself. false. Being gay is natural. We observe same-sex intercourse in over 3,000 animal species. Bonobos are a great ape species. We observe same-gender intercourse within their species all of the time. We also see that 10% of moose will exclusively engage in same-sex intercourse and will actually refuse to engage in opposite-sex intercourse. We've also seen lifelong same-sex penguin couples who actually adopt younger penguins and raise them as their own. Additionally, the 3 studies on screen have demonstrated that we are biologically predispositioned for our sexual orientations. This also rules out the common misconception that it's a choice to be gay. And if you're curious about those biological preconditions for sexual orientations, one of them would be the anterior commissure. For instance, gay men have a larger anterior commissure on average compared to straight men. Same thing would be true of the AI NAH3 subsection of the hypothalamus. We see differences within dendritic density. We see differences within neuronic substructure. We see differences within neurohormones such as FSH, as well as we see associations along the genetic code. A good example of this would be the XQ23 chromosome. So when we consider those two things, such as we see homosexuality in over 3,000 animal species apart from humans, and we know that it's driven from the way that our brain is designed, we could obviously classify being gay as natural. And even if we accept a worldview that was created and ordained by God, all this means is that God designed it. So, to reference to your first statement, that being gay wouldn't be wrong if it was natural. In other words, if it was designed right into the human anatomy, as well as the anatomy of other species on Earth, seemingly, that's the reality. Avery, thank you for the $5 on Venmo.
Hey, bro, do you think penguins and humans are the same thing? Do you think they're held to the same moral standard?
I think when you're classifying what is natural or unnatural, a reference to this trait being exuberated in over 3,000 other animal species is absolutely a valid consideration.
So do you think me as a Christian who's saying that by God's design, homosexuality is unnatural, do you think, like me as a Christian knowing that humans were created
God designed
superior to
people
animals,
to be
do you
gay.
think it would matter to me what animals are doing?
God designed people to be gay.
He didn't, though.
I did, and I yes, he did. If God was real, he did. And I even described.
I mean, the Bible is very clear about homosexuality.
I described. So then, how do you explain? Wait, what verse in the Bible says it's wrong to be gay?
No, how do I explain what? Ask it.
Hey, yeah, how do we explain the biological predispositions for being gay, such as a larger anterior commissure or varying traits of the AI NH3 subsection of the hypothalamus, or associations along the genetic code, such as in the XQ23 chromosome?
How about this? If he had created 2 men, there would be no humanity.
No, I'd like you to go ahead and explain to me what I said. Oh, it's wrong because if everyone alive was gay, like there wouldn't be any humans in 100 years?
I mean, it's obviously unnatural because if he had created us that way, then humanity wouldn't exist.
Yeah, I got a question. Is infertility unnatural and wrong?
So basic, and then you bring up the hypothalamus.
Hey, Zach, is infertility unnatural and wrong?
Infertility? Like IVF treatments?
No, infertility.
Like people being infertile?
Yeah.
By no choice of their own? Like, no, that's not wrong.
If God created Adam and Eve to be infertile, would they have been able to reproduce?
They would not have. But that's not the same thing at all.
What's the difference?
There's a moral standard that's held there, and
it's not the moral standard. You're deriving the moral standard from that fact. You said because you said that being gay is wrong because if Adam and Eve were gay, then it is the case that they wouldn't have been able to reproduce. Well, just replace that variable of same-gendered sexual orientations with infertility, and seemingly we'd yield the same outcome. And if you want to hold the same conclusion that it's therefore morally wrong, well, then you have a contradiction in your logic. All that you're telling us is that no, this is not the reason why you think being gay is wrong, and it's for some other reason apart from that fact.
There's no contradiction. You just don't understand that infertility infertility is not the same as homosexuality. Like
it is in the context of the consequences of it. Oh wait, you think that it's a gay? Oh, so you think that like same-gendered attractions are a choice?
No, I don't. Let me explain. You can't help if you're born gay. You can help if you act on that. If you are gay, you should be fed.
Okay, so it's not wrong to be gay.
So
it's wrong to act on
there between infertility. You can't choose.
Wait, Zach. So you don't think it's wrong to have the attractions, right? You just think it's wrong to act on them?
Yeah, I think it's wrong to act on them.
But not wrong to have them?
No, you can't help if you have them.
Ah, okay, so it's not wrong to have it, but it's wrong to act on
So
it.
much more.
Okay,
there's
so
much more
let me
to
ask you this question: Is it wrong?
Can you let me make the point?
No, you don't have any
Like, how are we
points
gonna
to
have a
make.
conversation? You won't let me make.
Is
the
it
point.
wrong for me to engage in intercourse with a
I
woman
let
that
you
has
monologue
infertility?
so long. Let me finish one point.
Is it wrong for me to engage in intercourse with a woman that has infertility, knowing that I could have engaged in intercourse with a woman that doesn't?
No, that wouldn't be wrong.
But
Can you let me explain why though? Because infertility is not a choice, the same way homosexuality is not. But you can't choose to indulge in infertility or not. You have no choice. Homosexuality, you can act upon it.
So I'll explain to you
That's
what you
what
just said.
I'm saying.
You just said that it's not wrong for me to engage in intercourse with a woman that has infertility, but I would be proactively choosing to engage in intercourse with someone that I'd never be able to reproduce with, which is exactly the reason that you granted insofar as why you think same-gendered intercourse is wrong. Like, for instance, just take a man and a woman that are both infertile, make them engage in intercourse. You don't think that there's anything wrong happening there, but then just replace the man with another woman. They still can't engage in intercourse, but now all of a sudden you think it's wrong because they can't engage in intercourse. So, let's just on a base level, if I engage in intercourse with a woman that's infertile, I cannot choose or change the fact that we will never be able to reproduce from that sex. However, I am consciously choosing to engage in that action, when there was other actions that I could have engaged in that would have been conducive towards reproduction. And that is your exact framework, your exact line of reasoning that you use to conclude that engaging in same-sex intercourse is wrong.
No, you're forgetting like the fundamental point about infertility is not a choice.
Well,
Whether
you
whether
could
it
certainly
happens
say it's not wrong
whether
for the
you
woman
have-
that's infertile because she didn't choose that she can't reproduce, but it'd definitely be wrong for me because I'm not infertile, yet I'm choosing to engage in intercourse with someone that is.
that doesn't make it wrong. That doesn't make it like homosexuality.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that it's not wrong to choose to engage in intercourse with someone that can't reproduce.
The goal isn't simply reproduction. Like that's not.
Okay, so Zach, you're saying
like,
that it's not wrong to
different
choose
reproduction.
to engage in intercourse with someone even if they can't reproduce with me.
Yes, that is not wrong. How does
You
that
just
justify
described gay sex. You did it to yourself.
No, I didn't.
This is the
I
gotcha
didn't.
moment. You just unintentionally described
No, I didn't.
same-gendered intercourse. You did it to yourself, and you didn't even see it because I am sneaky as fuck, and that is the ultimate gotcha. You just said it is not wrong to engage in intercourse with someone even if they can't reproduce with you. You just described same-gendered intercourse.
Infertility, bro. I described infertility. What do you mean? How is that necessarily and automatically same
It
sex?
describes engaging in intercourse with someone that's infertile, and it describes engaging in intercourse with someone that's of your same sex.
No, what you said.
Yes,
was
it does.
Justifying somebody who's infertile.
No, dude, think about it. When a man wants to engage in intercourse with another
Unless you're in
man,
your world.
are they engaged in an intercourse with someone that they'd never be able to reproduce with?
Yeah, but it's same sex. That
So then the reason that man on man is bad has nothing to do with a lack of possible reproduction, has nothing to do with like wanting to continue humanity, and it just all has to do with the fact that it's man on man. So like your reasoning ultimately
Yeah,
just
simply
reduces
out of
down.
God's design.
Yeah, your line of reasoning just ultimately reduces down towards like a circularity in the sense that man bad because man bad. Like it's just a description of prejudice.
yeah, it's bad, and it also doesn't lead to reproduction. Like there's nothing positive about it. It's just
We just went over this. Wait, were you about to say that, well, like the body parts weren't designed for that?
I'm 100% Christian. Like I'm going to give you a Christian argument.
Okay, so you're going to give me a lack of
when you-
reason,
same
logic,
sex-
argument. Makes sense. So were you about to say something about design? Like the body parts weren't designed for that?
Yeah, I'm just telling you, homosexuality is not a
Okay,
choice.
okay, so I got a question. What were my lips designed for?
A number of things. Speaking for one.
So is it wrong for me to kiss my girlfriend on the mouth because my lips weren't designed for that?
That's not a good question.
I
not
think
like
it
a-
is.
It's not though, because we're talking about like specific. Like we're talking about sex specifically.
So it's only wrong to misuse body parts if it would pertain towards
And
sexual
you're just saying like
behaviors?
Is it a sin if I use my hand to kick a soccer ball? Like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
So it's not wrong for me to misuse my lips to kiss my girlfriend, just assuming that there's some ultimate objective design. So then why would you say that that's a reason why things like GAY intercourse are wrong?
If you're assuming there's an ultimate design, then how do you not understand that going against that the design is the flaw? Like, is the
Zach,
sin.
you just described that that's not wrong because you just said it wasn't a flaw or a sin for me to go against the design of my lips by kissing my girlfriend.
No, the point is that marriage is designed for a man and woman.
Oh my God! So now we're doing a whole other thing about marriage. Marriage wasn't
Heterosexual
designed
sex.
for a man and a woman. No.
Like we're talking about sex specifically, not what your lips kissing your girlfriend. It's like a separate
Okay,
conversation.
so you're saying that it's only so this is just a special plea then. You're saying that the parts of our bodies are designed for objective purposes, right? But it's only wrong to violate those objective purposes when it's gay sex. That's essentially all that you're saying.
Yeah, our reproductive organs and processes
So
are.
do you think that it's wrong to get a BJ, bro?
To what?
Do you think that it's wrong to get a BJ, bro? Jake, thank you for the $5 in Venmo.
Not necessarily. Not after marriage.
Bro. Dude, Zach, do I need to explain that one to you?
Explain it.
Wait, I seriously need to explain that?
Wait, you asked me a question. I answered it. I don't know. What do you explain? I said not necessarily.
You don't just automatically see why I asked you that question, how it would be relevant to what we just discussed, and how it would relate to our debate? Your IQ is like 5.
Bro, you asked if it was wrong. I said not necessarily. Not
don't-
after marriage. What is the disconnect here?
Dude, wow. Zach, bro. Dude, should we just kick him? Like, 1 second. Everybody in chat, you all, like, using the interpretation skills of our conversation and context clues, you can make the logical connection to why Zach's answer there was contradictory to what he had said just prior, right? Like, I just want to make sure that this is like third grade level, like, context clues. Yeah?
You asked a question.
Like,
I answered it.
Zach,
You're a queer. What do you want me to say?
oh my God, bro! Dude, like, honestly, like, in a vacuum, right?
that,
If like gay people weren't being like systemically oppressed, and like homophobia didn't exist that like harm and killed people, I would laugh at you so fucking hard because you're such a sad, 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 sad man. I would laugh in your goddamn face. You're over here sitting like 5 IQ or no context clues, can't make an argument for anything, debunked you on Trump, debunked you on feminism, debunked you on this, right? And now I'm exposing to close to 6,000 people, right, that you don't even have the context clues of a third grader, and your response is to call me a queer. Like, I just, like... like if systemic homophobia didn't exist, right, and like the misuse and abuse of the word queer alongside similar language and prejudices and actions and behaviors didn't result in the death of people, didn't result in the discrimination or oppression of people, I would laugh in your fucking face because of how stupid I think you are. Just for saying that. But chat, we're going to go ahead and restart the live. We got a couple flags. I was really mean to Zach because he deserved it, and it'll probably get like a hate speech and bullying ban, so we're just going to restart to try to negate that. But it looks like we also have a restriction on the live visibility. So ladies and gentlemen, I will be right back in like 5 seconds. Go ahead and just click on my profile picture and then get ready to click right back into the live as soon as I'm back. And Anada, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo, saying thanks for standing up for people like this big ol' lesbian over here. I love you, Nada. Everybody, please show some love to Nada down below in the chat. And I really appreciate you for the $20 donation. You are phenomenal. But yeah, I will see you guys in like 30 seconds, y'all.